Hello and welcome to the new Tableau tutorial video, and in this Tableau tutorial video I want to show you the exclude LoD where I will show you how or in which scenario you will going to use the exclude LoD and finally create this graphic which shows the overall consumer values, right, and then the respective regional values over here. So to compare under the consumer section where the various regions are performing, right? So all of this thing we can produce it with the help of the exclude dimension and then or the exclude LoD by excluding a particular dimension and create a creative chart like this which shows both total consumers and the respective region values, right? East, central, west, or these what is that, west, south, east and central. Yeah, 4 regions. So that way you can do the comparison. So clearly over here east and west is very high and south is laggard and central is somewhere in the middle, right? So you can compare each segment without even having the regions over here, even though region is present, right, but region is not shown over here. Or even if you remove the region altogether, then it becomes a bit of a challenging. But all in all, what I want to show you is how you can basically create this by using the exclude LoD. So what do I have for you is, if I create it from the scratch, I have the segment, right, and I have the sales over here, right? So 1.1 million, right, 1161401. So that is what you have over here, 1161401. Now we need to bring in the each segment value as well, right? So over here the segment value is or the region value is present over here. So if I bring the region, this is also present, right? And if I bring, let's say, the total using, I can it's basically allow me to do the total. For now, if you see, if I'm having this sum of sales, just with that the totals are not coming. Yeah, first of all I need to do add all subtotals, yeah, then only the totals will come, yeah, sum, right? But the only challenge is, if I convert this into a sort of a bar chart, it still shows each regional values. It doesn't show me the overall consumer and on consumer where each region is present for comparative analysis. And that's why we need one more measure that shows basically the regional information on this particular segment chart. So what do I need is basically a calculated field to create an exclude LoD. What do I mean by exclude LoD? If I go back, what I want to do is, I want to create a calculation where the region is not coming, because region is anyway present over here, right? Region is not coming, it is creating the total of each segment. Once I have the total, I can create a bars like these bars, which is consistent, right, for each of the segment. So for that I need this value getting repeated 4 times, this value getting repeated 4 times, and because it is only the segment value, I need to exclude the region. So for that I create a calculated field, segment sales, and I will say within curly brackets, which is a syntax for the LoDs, I will say exclude. I want to exclude what? I want to exclude the region. So I will say region, and then I will simply say sum of sales, right? And I will wrap this around into sum of sales just so that it is coming as a proper measure in the front end. So I have the segment sales, I can put it over here. Now you can see the value is getting repeated, right? This value is getting repeated because what it is doing, it is removing the impact of region from here. And now once I have that, I can convert this into a chart, right? I have this chart and this chart. I can do what? Dual axis. I can do this dual axis, then come over here in the main chart, which is segment sales. I will change this to a bar chart, right? And the actual sales values are coming over here or here. Well, think about this. If suppose an interview question is coming that why these values are beyond this bar chart, because it should be inside the bar chart, right? Because all of these regional values, the dots, are related to corporate segment, so it should be inside this. So hit a pause button and think about it, why it is happening. Okay, hopefully you have figured it out, but if not, then it is happening because accesses are not synchronized. So you synchronize the access. Now access for both these measures are synchronized, right? And then what I can do is, to show the circles, I bring the sum of sales on top, or the second measure over here, and I can change the color of circle just so that they are properly visible to blue, right? And now you have this. Maybe I can change it to an entire view so that you can clearly see this. So this way you have your all the segment sales over here, and you can do the comparison very easily. Who is the last and who is the first? Visually it becomes very easy. Otherwise, for values you have to read all the 4 values. In this case you can clearly see West is leading in home office segment, right? And how I can remove this? If let's say I want to remove this, then I will uncheck the show header, and now I have only corporate, consumer and home office, which is absolutely similar to this one, right? So that's how basically you can create a chart like this, and you can enable the labels and everything if you want, right? Like I just did by going into the sum of sales label and enable the label. That way, along with the dots, you have the label. That becomes, sort of an innovative chart which is creative and innovative in nature. So that way you can surprise your audience. Okay, with that I will give you 2 questions to practice, and then you will let me know if you find the answer. Okay, so here is the question. Here are the questions. First is, create a sales by product category chart and find out which subcategory is having the highest or lowest values in that category, right? So your categories will come over here, the respective subcategories will come like this, and with the circle you will be able to tell which one is higher or lower. That's how you need to create it. Second is the opposite of this chart, which is you need to create now the regional sales chart, which become the first dimension, and find out which segment is having the highest or lowest sales in that particular region, right? That can be an alternative analysis. So you need to create the calculations and visualization like that and find out the answers. With that, thank you so much, and I'll meet you in the next video with a new topic.